revolutionizing the way people treat people in business. The Experience Pros, America's home for positive business talk.
This is America's home for positive business talk, and you, America, well, we thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Absolutely. We love that you follow. This is your boost to your business day before you get on that stressful phone call or go into that, stressful conference call.
Take a deep breath. It's the Experience Pros. We're here for you. We're going to help you build your brand right here on the radio. And speaking of branding, it's not just your logo.
It is not. No, we're going to talk about your personal brand. We've been talking about when people follow you, it's because they know you, they like what you stand for, right? They know something about you, and your personal brand is right there in connection. When we think about our corporate brand, people do business with people, right? Sally calls Joe in order to do business, right? It's not Experience Pros calling Salem. It's I'm calling that person. And it's who we are connected to. That's who we follow. When we give referrals to friends or recommend to other people, even though we might name the company, we say, when you call, ask for so-and-so. It's their personal brand. And according to Entrepreneur, 2018 needs to be your year for upping your game when it comes to your personal brand.
Andrew Metal asks the question, why is everyone all of a sudden trying to become LinkedIn famous? Is anyone else tired of reading about all the branding hacks out there? After all, there's a lot more to achieving great personal branding than tricking algorithms. That's true.
It is all about connecting with people. And the good news is we all have the same ability and we all have access, but it's what we're doing with it that makes a big difference. Research has actually found that 52% of vendors, this is a cute little survey,
52% of vendors
said that they had lost business because of information that customers didn't find online about them.
Oh, man. So more than half of the people who are searching for information about you are not finding it because it's not there.
Because it's not there. And so it's a new switch, right? We used to be really concerned about bad information or negative information about our brand, but really no information at all is just as problematic.
Talk about this. 95% of those polled said that a competitive personal brand, as an essential differentiator for attracting the best applicants in today's workspace, that matters.
All right. So let's talk about your personal brand. Ooh. All right. Yes. Here's where we start. Image is everything.
Say it again.
Image is everything. You think about online when we're posting and who we are and what we stand for. I chatted with a gentleman who found out we had a business talk show. I was in Los Angeles. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I would love to be on the radio. I just love to be controversial, love, to stir the pot and all of this. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But your goal is to create customers, right? First, to create followers, give them results. So you create business. You're creating business.
Yes.
If you're turning people away and you're turning people off, how much of that do you think is going to come back and becoming your customers and to referring you to their friends?
Yeah, here's the mistake that people see. People like in our market, we got Peter Boyles, who is a controversial talk show host, right? Mm-hmm. And he stirs the pot intentionally. He's been on the radio for 45 years. When he was born, Dust was young. Okay. And the reason he can do that and get away with it and people will support him by the millions is because he's been doing it for 45 years. If you're a startup and you think you're going to offend half of your market and succeed, you have another thing coming.
Well, and when you think about the million people that are following him, they're not buying from him.
No, they're not buying from him.
Right? There's a difference. Correct. There's a difference. As a startup, as an entrepreneur, you're looking for people to buy from you. And so you don't have the luxury of pushing them away. You've got to put your best foot forward. You've got to put your best face forward. So think about that when you're putting out pictures and photos and your image and how you dress.
Personal branding is a content that you can control. Those images, the way you dress, even your online rant, political, religious, or otherwise.
Yeah, what is it? What is it about people that, we put these cryptic posts out, complaining or, well,
we're afraid to assign our real names to everything.
Well, but even those that will put a post out, kind of this cryptic post of, kind of putting somebody down, in order to lift ourselves up to feel better about ourselves. Okay. You know, it's a cry for help, obviously. A little pathetic cry for help. If there's somebody that's wronged you or you miss them or want to reach out to them, let's all be adults and have that conversation with people rather than feeling like you have to put out this message where other people then, oh, you poor thing. Oh no, people, that drives me crazy. Yeah. And I think if you're that whiny, and I know this is rude to say, but if you're really that whiny and lost and you have to have a cryptic Facebook message in order to make you feel better about yourself, you need to have some real friends. Start getting out and connect with girlfriends, connect with guy friends. Make sure that every week you have friends that you are getting together with. It is going to boost your self-confidence. It's going to boost your self-esteem, and you're going to feel far less needy in your Facebook group to pat you on the back.
The next point is this: influencer marketing is on the rise. Mm-hmm. Influencer marketing is on the rise. What's likely to emerge as a result is a push for more open and honest content marketing. So whether it's social media or your blog or your website or your face-to-face communications, you are being called to become an influencer, but it has to be authentic. It doesn't have to be Ashton Kutcher. It has to be you, but it's got to be authentic and genuine, and that's got to come across all the way across the board. So you can't rant on one side and then hope for the best on the other side. You can't claim to have positive business talk on one side and then backstab everybody on the other.
Consistency is key. Yep. And it doesn't mean that, for us, for positive business talk, it doesn't mean we're Pollyanna all the time and that life doesn't really happen.
Sure.
But there is a consistency and an expectation that we are looking for the good in others. We are looking on the bright side. We are trying to find that silver lining in even the darkest of situations. It doesn't mean we're perfect, and it doesn't mean that bad things don't happen. And we get to be honest. We get to be vulnerable. We get to be authentic. But where the rants, and the complaining, once you put it out there, it's out there forever. And if you don't have the full context of what it is you've put out there, it can really be taken out of stride.
Absolutely.
You've got to realize that branding takes time, especially when you're managing a personal brand. It's not something that you do overnight, right? Because it's what people think about you. It's the promise, and that takes time to develop.
It does. All of this very good for your business, folks. Thank you for tuning in to this, the home of positive business talk, which, by the way, is as contagious and on fire as micro-influencing. That's for sure. Check out experiencepros.com, and we'll be back right after the top of the hour news.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive